So I started getting interested in augments, so I did some digging through the Discord, found everything I could, and I put it all into this video. So I hope you learned something, I hope you like it, let's get into it. Alright, so about 2 weeks ago I posted this video. This video was explaining like a breakdown of the Gen 1 Alluvials, and I titled it, Here's Why Synergies Won't Matter Until Gen 2 Alluvials. I wasn't wrong with the breakdown of the Alluvials, but I was wrong with my conclusion. How do I know that? Because Grant told me. So Grant sent me a message. He said, augments and bonding will give you the required stacks, so synergies absolutely still matter in set 1. And I just asked him about what he was talking about. He said it's been mentioned before in the Discord. They'd be stupid to enter a combat system around affinities and synergies and not give players the ability to stack. And my original thinking was that this is a long-term project. They were just putting those systems in place for the future. But there is a way. I did some more digging on Discord to find more of an explanation. So actually back in May, Aaron posted this, and underlined here he says, but remember with augments, bonding, and weapons, you should be able to hit max stacks of everything once set 1 is fully released. In addition to that, after I had received that message from Grant, the June dev blog from Aaron was posted, and this is just a couple paragraphs out of that dev blog. So for augments, he talks about how they're not just your standard, gain a little bit of health, but they'll be fully functional, complex interactions that run via tiny bits of data. And he goes on to say how it might not wow you, but one day it'll be so frictionless that you'll take it for granted. Now, bonding down here is going to be one of those ways that you can get those additional stacks, especially for those composite synergies. And it seems like a very simple mechanic. You're basically going to pick one of your Alluvials and bond it to your Ranger. And then the Ranger is going to take over the class and affinity for that battle. And he says, this will ensure that the composite synergies are much more impactful. And then on top of this, you also have to think about the weapon in armor, having a class and affinity, and even some augments that might give some stacks of an affinity. So we see here the 4 different color and patterns for the augments. You have the defensive one in that purplish color, attacking in this orange color, support in this greenish blue color, and then you also have legendary in the gold color. And it's unclear whether there can be a legendary defensive card or a legendary attacking or support, or if the legendary cards are just something completely separate. Here's just a little infographic of all the augments that were shown. This may be the first set that's coming out, or this may just be part of them. In this particular image, it doesn't have the descriptions, but some of the descriptions have been leaked as well. Here's one, for example. So first you can see that the augments will have a mastery point cost. These augments, just like Alluvials, will come in a stage 1, a stage 2, and a stage 3. And this one is called Vengeful Smite. Every third attack inflicts poison and deals 4% of the target's max health as pure damage, with a 2-second cooldown. Every day we're getting closer and closer to the release of Illuvium. You don't want to miss any of the content I'm putting out on that. So do me a favor, subscribe if you're not already, click the like button, and let's get back into it. So again, digging through the Discord, I came through some other exchanges that are important for augments. Someone asks here, how do you think we'll acquire the augments? And Grant says, you'll build them from resources harvested in plants. And there'll also be a chance for holographic augments when crafted. Another question about how we get augments, Aaron responded with, you'll collect resources in the overworld and forge them. And he also mentions that in the beta, they'll give you them as part of the deck. So I'm guessing we're in private beta 1 right now that doesn't have any augments. I believe private beta 2 is going to be coming out soon, and that will have more Alluvials and augments. Over here on the right, we have a question asking, are augments consumables? And Aaron says no. So that makes me believe that the augments, just like the Alluvials, are going to be NFTs. So you'll craft them, you'll have the NFTs, you can sell them to other players, you can keep them, you're not going to lose them by playing them. And then this was just an older concept of Mozart mining in the overworld. So some exchanges about what these augments are called, and this one says Alluvials don't have equipment. Aaron responds with, they have augments, which is basically the equipment. Someone asks, are we going to have items for Alluvials? And Aaron responds, augments. Alluvials don't wear belts. That's why I made this image, and I put the belt here. I think some Alluvials could get away with wearing a belt, but I understand how it wouldn't work with a lot of them. But then this last exchange, we're looking for terminology. It looks like it's going to be called Alluvials wearing the augments, and I just put some augment belts on a couple other Alluvials here just for fun. Okay, so here is one of the few videos we have of an augment being placed on an Alluvial. On the left side here, you can see you'll have the augment as a card in the deck, just like an Alluvial. You'll take it and you'll drag it on top of an Alluvial on the board. Once you drop it on the Alluvial, the card changes slightly and a small little picture of that Alluvial shows up on the card. I'm thinking just so you know which Alluvial you put it on. So here's the actual video. If you take a look at the augments, as it's dragged on top of the Alluvial, and then a small picture of the Alluvial shows up on that card. So I just want to give a little shout out to the Alluvial. This is a great fan-built website, and they've actually partnered with Illuvium on some things. I'm not too sure about that, but I'm always looking through the Discord for different things in the leak sections. But if I can't find something, or if I want to get more detail on something, the Alluvial website is just the one I go to. So you can see they have everything you want to know about the Alluvials, affinities, classes, and this is where I found some of the descriptions for the augments. So here are some of those augments. A couple things to note here is that the augments seem to have stages just like the Alluvials. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. And I'm not sure if this has been leaked, but I would assume it's going to work the same way, where you'd use 3 Stage 1s in order to get a Stage 2, then you'd use 3 Stage 2s in order to get the Stage 3. And this one is Arctic Dominion, and it basically inflicts frost on Alluvials within a certain amount of hexes. This also brings up the question of whether certain augments can only be used on certain types of Alluvials. Like if this is a frost augment, I can't imagine it's going to allow you to put this on a Ramfire. So you might have to put it on a frost Alluvial, or at least maybe a water or an air Alluvial, because water and air is what makes frost. Here's another set. This is a defensive set. It's called Retribution Calls. It talks about gaining thorns. I'm not too sure what thorns are. If you know what thorns are, comment down below and let me know. And then it also gains some shield and taunts enemies within 10 hexes. And on takedown, heal for 200. This was just some old concept art for augments. I actually really like the art here. I'm a little disappointed they didn't stick with this art. But the reason I'm showing you this is just another example of what some of the augments could be. This would be a defensive card, and it says the Alluvial gains 20 physical resist and thorns equal to 10% of the attack damage. Again, I still don't know what thorns are. And here's some more augment concepts. Read through a couple of them here. The Alluvial starts the battle with an additional 30% max energy and gains 4 additional energy regeneration per second. Down here we have when the Alluvial uses an Omega ability, they gain shield equal to 300% of their max energy. While shielded, they have 30 physical and energy resist. This is one of the few videos I could find posted by Grant in the leak section of the Discord. And this is a video showing off the flee mechanic, which he's saying, which can be found in Augment or possibly a special ability of an Alluvial. It'll actually cause your Alluvial to turn around and run away from the opponent Alluvial. You know, this could be good for a fragile Alluvial you might have, so you want it to last a little longer, or you could be more strategic about it, and you could use it to pull one of the opponent's Alluvials deeper into your board to knock it out of the match even quicker. Did I miss anything about augments? Like I said, I did some digging on Discord. I looked at the Alluvial website. But if I missed something, let me know, because I am really interested in about learning these. And please give me a like, comment, subscribe if you're not already. And I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. So it seems like augments won't just be a small part of this game, but they'll be very important on the outcomes of the game, especially for the higher tier players. And we still don't know too much about them, but leaks are always coming out and we're learning more and more. But let me know down in the comments if you learned anything from this video and if you're excited for augments. And I'll see you in the next one.